This is the AACA, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Probably on the other list. All right, I take his name down. Yeah, I'm a trustee with the Village of Phoenix, so I have no idea. Here I am.
You see her from there. We go. Let's take you out, honey.
Okay.
You by yourself?
No.
Why you?
Great grandfather was from Austria.
This better be in your car with you. I swear. I'm gonna catch up with you.
Two.
go, baby. Take your side.
How you been doing? Dan,
Hey, Mel. This lovely lady.
How you doing? Good to see how you. We're getting it on in here.
This is our 17th annual reception, not our 17th year of existence. ACCA has been very active in forging relationships with major corporations, educational institutions, and businesses throughout the state of Illinois, but in particular Chicago, the city of Chicago. 17 years ago, ACCA was at the forefront of demanding that African American contractors participate in the major construction projects throughout the city of Chicago. We've had plenty of success, and we look forward to continuing in that same fashion. Hasn't always been easy sustaining these relationships, but we're determined and we're committed to making sure that these relationships continue to grow. Small businesses are the backbone of the business world, and we employ most people. And we have a lot of our sponsors and corporate partners here, and I'm so appreciative that you guys help sponsor our events and that you're here to show your support. Saying thank you simply is just not enough, in my humble opinion. But we do thank you for being here, for supporting us with your sponsorship. But more importantly, we need to forge and build relationships between you and our contractors and our businesses, because people need to be able to provide for themselves and feed their families. And that's what ACCA has represented over the last 20 years, that we need to make a difference. I know there are a lot of business owners here, a lot of corporations. I believe Bank of America is here as well. I know Exelon is represented here, and I believe CVS Pharmacy, Walgreens, Pepper Construction. I believe I saw Jimmy from Ujamaa is here, and I think Bully and Andrews, just to name a few of our sponsors and supporters. We thank you for coming out and supporting us. I just wanted to welcome you. My name is Andre Jones. I'm chairman of the event. We look forward to continuing to build these relationships, and we want to make sure that you work with our contractors to help them grow their businesses. And ACA has been known forever to represent businesses. And before all our sponsors leave, please make sure you get a picture with us, with Omar, so that we can send them back to you guys so you can share them with your companies and with your staffs and your directors and the presidents of the companies and so forth. So thank you for coming out. The event is about to get underway, and welcome. I'm going to turn it over to Nivier Fontaine. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nivier Fontaine, the Vice President of the African American Contract Association, and we would like to also introduce, to give our official welcome address for the 3rd Ward, we would like to bring up the Alderman of the 3rd Ward, Pat Dower. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Got a nice crowd out here tonight. Looks very nice. I want to welcome you to the Harold Washington Cultural Center. I want to acknowledge before I get started my colleague to the east, who I see is in the back. It helps when you're a tall woman, you can see another tall woman. Alderman Toni Preckwinkle is here with us this afternoon. Could you give her a hand? Excuse me? Oh, okay, Alderman Brookins. He's a little short. But Alderman Brookins, welcome to the 3rd Ward. It was good to be with you last night in 21st Ward, and I'm glad to see that you're out in our community this evening. I want to say thank you to Omar Sharif and Nivier Fontaine and Andre Jones, and to tell you that I'm very happy to be here on this occasion of your 17th reception. And as a new alderman, I can tell you that I'm looking forward to developing a deeper relationship with the members of ACA. We have begun having some conversations around some issues that are going on in this ward, and I look forward to continuing that conversation. As Mr. Jones mentioned, money is the lifeblood that runs through a community. And in many of our communities, there's an awful lot of money to be made. And it's important that we get our fair share of those dollars. And with your support and with the support of people like me in elected office to work with organizations like ACA, we can continue to forge these relationships, as you say, and make them even deeper and more real in our lives and in the lives of our children, because that's really what's the important message. So again, I want to welcome you to the 3rd Ward, and eat, drink, and be merry.
Thank you, Alderman. Thank you for your... Right now, we'd like to also introduce, just to mention, the presidents of the African American Contract Association around the country. From Rockford, Illinois, we got Reverend Earl Dobson. From Peoria, Illinois, we got Fred Danich. And from Springfield, we got Paula Bruce. From St. Louis, we got Mary Faram. And from Milwaukee, we got Victor Simmons. And from Detroit, Michigan, we got Earl Williams. And from Cleveland, Ohio, we have Sylvester Johnson. Also from Atlanta, Georgia, Sandra Clark. Also from Richmond, Virginia, Dr. Robert Walker, MD. And from Houston, Texas, we got Miran Atkins. And from Omaha, Nebraska, we got Greg Johnson. And also, as I say again, I am the Vice President of the National Office of the African American Contract Association. Now what we'd like to bring up is one of our awardees that's receiving an award this evening. We just wanted him to come up and say a few words prior to his award. And he also, we've seen him on television a lot, and we support them a lot in Gary, Indiana. But we have Reverend Jackson, so whenever he said, we just got to bring him up automatically anyway, you know.
I'm the mayor.
Let's hear it for Omar. Let me hear you scream. I am so delighted, family, to be with you tonight. And as the family knows that tonight we're having our LaSalle Street project in downtown Chicago, but I could not miss this part of our family for the whole world. This is a big deal to us. The contractors mean so much to us, and Omar and his family, give them a hand, won't you please? It's a big deal. I do want to say that these are turbulent times in which we live. The good news is, Brother Morgan, is on this week right now, we have 150 children going across the South, going to college. And they'll be back at Push at 9 o'clock Saturday morning, be there to greet our children coming from college and not coming from jail. On the other hand, you look at the campaign now that's taking place. When you get near the goal line, they call that the red zone. That's when the tackling starts real hard. We've come too far to give up now. Don't let them make our knees buckle, nor make us surrender. I've been around speaking in speeches for a long time. Barack's speech yesterday was the most profound speech I have heard in my lifetime. I Have a Dream speech was a big deal, but Dr. King was not around to give that kind of speech before that kind of global audience. And if we've not gotten better in 45 years, we are retarded. We are getting better. And America is getting better. And we are factors in this getting better by making it broader and better. We have in our lifetime a young man who is the conduit through which God is expressing himself a new and better America. And you might say that you were not old enough to have been in Montgomery with Dr. King and Rosa Parks in 1955. You may have missed the sit-ins of the 1960s, of the March on Washington in 1963. But God keeps on giving us blessings, and here we are in 2008. Let me say this in closing, Sister Pat and others of you, Luana, who are here tonight. One of the dangers of all the talk about new generation is to act as if we are born full grown. There was a freak in Greek mythology called Zeus. He was born full grown, no parents, no growing up, just born grown, had no context of his life. He was a freak. We have parents and lineage and heritage. This week, this one right here, 1965, we were in Selma marching for the right to vote. This week, 43 years ago. During this period, Jim Lee Jackson had been killed, Trina Goodman and Cheney killed, John Reed killed, Vala Luizzo killed, Meg Evers killed for the right to vote during this season 43 years ago. It was a season of state-sanctioned terror. And when you can, in 43 years, have a race in Mississippi where Emmett Till was killed and Meg Evers was killed, and have men voting for a woman and whites voting for a black, that is a phenomenal move from terror to terrific. And we are the conduits through which that is taking place. We're changing America and the world every day. And the Voting Rights Act that we won, and we must never forget this as we fight for our share of contractors, because it doesn't matter if we have our share of politics nor have our share of contracts. Mr. Mayor, last week I looked and Barack was $1 in the Democratic race politically. But during the same time, Visa put on an $18 billion IPO. And as many Visa cards as we have, like 35%, late fees about 90%. They had 0.4% of all of us managing the IPO. $400 million in fees, we got less than $1 million. We fought and got it up to $5 million. But it's not enough to have our share of politics. and don't have our share of contracts, and don't have our share of business, and don't have our share of the money. The Voting Rights Act of 65, now close on this, Sister Pat, is simply this. When we got the right to vote in 65, white women could not serve as jurors in Alabama. White farmers who couldn't pay poll taxes couldn't vote in the South. We got the right to vote in 65, but guess what? Teenagers got the right to vote in 1970. That whole new youth movement, that's Selma too. 1975, the bilingual voting where Hispanics can vote in their language, and Native Americans and Eastern Europeans, that's Selma too. We won a suit in 74 where you could vote on the campus where you attend school, that's Selma too. 1990, where the physically different are able, and you could vote in Braille or wheelchair accessible, which enables us now to have an African American governor in New York, that's Selma too. Our struggle is bearing fruit not because it's new, but because it has continuity. God bless you and keep up alive. Love you, Omar.
Thank you very much, Reverend Jackson. We'd like to bring up right now the Deputy Governor. I understand that she needs to leave, but she's taking a picture right now, so I guess she's not too much in a hurry, huh? Okay.
All these men, all these brothers?
Okay, all right. Okay, Deputy. Okay, I would like to introduce to you all the Deputy Governor, LaVonya Peters.
Right.
We gotta try to get the mic working.
You get that mic?
Yeah, I think we got it, you know.
Yeah, we got it.
You got it?
Good evening, ACA friends, family. How are you all? Everybody been standing up for a long time, so do something. Shake, wiggle, rattle, roll. All right. But honestly and very, very seriously, Brother Omar, you've never wavered, never backed up, never softened up on the fight for fairness, parity, and the business of constructing and building the roadways, byways, highways of this state and really this nation. Alderwoman? Alderwoman? Where's the alderman? All these finally elected officials. Oh, one thing I want to say, my name is Lou Anna Peters, just so that sometimes be clear, it's not LaVonya. Some people call it that, some did not, but let's not worry about that. But really, on behalf of Governor Rod Blagojevich and the state of Illinois, congratulations on your 17th annual reception. And continue to fight. Reverend Jackson is absolutely correct. No matter, we make baby steps. And then we fall back a big step. Then we make baby steps again. And Brother Omar and I think we've been working on this probably about 25 years or something. I was with it with former Congressman Gus Savage. We were working on the same issue. The issues that was facing us under Dan Ryan in 2006, 7, and 8, those were issues, Alderwoman Pretrico, that we were dealing with on the Eisenhower in 1983, 84, 85. So we made baby steps forward and some big steps back, but we can't give up the fight, and we have to, all of us, need to constantly and always remember fighters like Brother Omar and ACA, because they have not backed up. I know there's some other fighters here in the room, but he has taken it on up the rough side of the mountain. And there have been some rough sides. And we appreciate the fact that you have not backed up. Sometimes it's uncomfortable for us, based on where I am at the time. There were days when it was uncomfortable for us, and in terms of the pressure that you put and you need to put on those of us in public office to stay vigilant, to make those baby steps big steps, because that's the only way we're going to get people in all communities who've been locked out, pushed out, never let in, to be involved in the process of the business of building the infrastructure of this country. And that is a business. That's the only way we're going to get ourselves employed, is to stay vigilant on the process. Again, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Deputy Governor. Thank you very much. We also want to recognize that I'm sure we did not forget him. We want to recognize and welcome the president of McHugh Construction, Bruce Lake. How you doing? How you doing, Bruce? Come up and say something. You've been working with us for quite some time. Tell something.
Well, thank you very much for the introduction, and we're pleased to be here at the awards because we have a member of our staff who's being recognized. We're certainly part of the South Side community. McHugh has been on the South Side now for virtually 100 years. We intend to stay, so we'll be working with all of you in the future. We look forward to it. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Okay, right now we want to give away something. We want to give away one of the gift certificates we have there for $50. We'd like to call Celeste up of risk management system. She's the one that's providing the gift certificates for this evening. Would you like to come up, Celeste, so you can pick the name? She's also my neighbor. She's also the person that I go to and eat dinner and all that other stuff over there. Okay, what you need to do now is close your eyes and pick a name. Oh man, the alderman. She won. Is Tony Prewinkle is still in the house? Yeah, alderman. Hey. Here you go.
Thank you very much.
Okay. As I promised before, we're going to bring up the mayor of Gary, Indiana. And I want you all to give him a great Chicago welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Rudy Clay.
First of all, I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to be mayor of Gary, Indiana, my hometown. I also want to thank the African American Contractors Association for this great honor and privilege here this afternoon. I also want to say to Omar Sharif, I love that name, number one, but more than that, you have a great person at a great time with this great organization. And I want to say to the black contractors in the house here tonight and all over America that in Gary, Indiana, the best days are yet to come, and we're going to soar like an eagle. We're getting all the impurities out as it relates to barring African American people from doing business in Gary. We are doing great things in Gary, Indiana. The harvest is plenty. The workers are few. Come to Gary and help soar like an eagle with us. So tonight, I just want to say that in the words of a preacher in my hometown, his name is Ferris Evans. His son wrote a song. The song was, I Want to Thank You. He said that if I never climb the China Wall, he said, I want to thank you. He said, if I never see the Taj Mahal tonight, sincerely, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, you know, this is the first mayor that I know that's a man of a few words. I thought he would be here for a while, but I guess I got to move on now. Okay, we're going to have special comments from Gregory T. Hilton, the senior, Director, Talent, Strategist, and Diversity of U.S. Cellular. Is he in the house? I guess not. We will move on. Hey, do we have a proclamation? Y'all got it? Okay, what we're going to do now without holding anything up, I also want to recognize Congressman Davis is in the house. Danny K. Davis is in the house. You can get an award, man. He's talking. Congressman, would you like to come up and say something as usual?
Well, thank you very much. Well, thank you all very much, as a matter of fact. It's always good to see people when they gather and interact with each other and have a little fellowship. It's always good for me to see my good friend, the Honorable Rudy Clay from all the way over in Gary, Indiana. My good friend. Mr. Mayor, how you doing? Let me tell you, Rudy and I have been running together for at least 30 years. One of the most solid, progressive, stay-to-it people I've known in the business of politics. Always been grassroots, always half-time an outsider. Folks never thought he'd reach the point of being mayor, but he's mayor of the city of Gary, Indiana, and I'm awfully proud of him and proud to see him and proud to know him. Certainly it's good to see my alderman, the woman that I bought my house from, quite frankly, the Honorable Pat Dow, alderman of the 3rd Ward. Folks don't know that, but Pat lived on the west side of Chicago before she moved over here, and when she got ready to move, I bought her house. And her son had all these basketball things up all over the place because he was a superstar basketball player, and so I'd go out in the backyard and shoot baskets, have fun. So Pat, thanks so much for leaving that apparatus there so that I could exercise. Tony, the Honorable Alderman of the 4th Ward, good friend Tony Preckwinkle, who's doing an outstanding job and continues to redevelop her community. My good friend who should have been elected state's attorney, but people just wasn't ready. One of the saddest days of my life was when Howard Brookins didn't get elected state's attorney of Cook County, because he would have done an outstanding job if he'd only gotten a chance. As a matter of fact, I made reference to him as being like a young friend of mine down in Dallas County, Texas, a fellow named Craig Watkins, who is the state's attorney down there. And I was down there the other week, and show you how much the people love Craig. I was at this fellow's church, Freddie Haynes. 5,000 folks there worshiping, because I was down there trying to get Barack Obama elected, to be honest. But I mentioned Craig, and the crowd went up in a roar, because Craig Watkins is changing what people think state's attorneys ought to be doing around. And that's exactly what I thought Howard would get a chance to do here in Cook County. But life is what it is. But let me just say congratulations to Accra, to all of the contractors who have band themselves together, still don't get the business they ought to get. There is still tremendous disparity. There is still lack of opportunity, plus the country's going broke, and we need to figure out a way somehow or another to make sure that people here can work, that they have an opportunity to participate. So you probably shouldn't have asked me to say nothing, because we're in one hell of a bad shape in America. Everybody I know just about starving to death. And so I hope this election hurry ups and come about so that there can be some new focus relative to how America can reconstitute and redevelop itself. Congratulations to all of the awardees. Omar, hang tough. Keep doing the best you can do as long as you can wear tuxedos and bow ties. You're obviously doing all right. Larry and all of the guys around. Good to see everybody, and I congratulate Luana Peters because she was speaking when I came in, but Luana is doing an outstanding job as the Deputy Governor of the state of Illinois, and I'm very proud to know that she's doing a great job because I've known her a long time, and we both used to run with Gus Savage. Thank you all so much. Good to be here.
See, that's exactly what I need. You know, someone that can speak a little long. Okay, also we're also gonna bring Ms. Watts back up of Risk Management System so she can pull someone else's name for $50. This time, let's hope that it's not a politician. Let's give somebody else a few dollars. Okay, look at the sheet. Let's see. Okay, you have this. Oh, no, not again. Another politician. Howard Brookins. Come on now. Come on. How you doing? How you doing? All right. You know, we got to find another way to give out these gift certificates. But what we're going to start off with now, we're going to start off with the award ceremony. And naturally, Omar Sharif is going to join me up here to present the awards. Omar Sharif, you know, you're hiding in the corner. Come on. Let's give Omar a hand. Well, Bank of America, we almost lost your award. Okay, it gives us great pleasure also to present an award to Bank of America for being outstanding, and definitely we're very happy to give Patricia M. Holden the award of Bank of America.
So give it up for the Bank of America.
Oh, okay. I can do that with two handsome gentlemen. Thank you so much. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Omar, who I had an opportunity to actually meet about a year ago. And we've been working together ever since. And I like the fact that, Omar, you challenge us. Bank of America has a real commitment to diversity, and we're walking the walk in Chicago like we're doing across the country. With the acquisition of LaSalle Bank, depending on the day, we're either the #1 or the #2 bank in Chicago. But I will tell you that it is our goal to be the #1 bank in Chicago, and we're going to make sure that as we grow, that the African American contractors and the supplier diversity programs that we have within the bank, as well as our employees, grow together. So please give us the opportunity to continue to work with you, and I promise you that the bank will work with you.
Thank you, Pat. Let's thank Pat, because you know she worked with the place where all the money is stored. And I know I need a few dollars. Okay, our next award is for the alderman that that won a gift certificate. I don't know about him. Maybe we need to have him trade that in. Ladies and gentlemen, our next awardee for this year of our 17th annual membership award reception will go to Alderman Howard Brookins.
Give it up for Howard Brookins with that beautiful mall on 83rd Street.
All right, you gotta get pictures. All right.
First of all, I want to thank Omar Sharif and African American Contractors Association for this award. It's really important and special, and it is befitting that they would honor Pat Holden with the Bank of America. When I went to her with a problem in trying to include African Americans in the building of a Bank of America in my ward, it was Pat that came to the forefront and ciphered through all of the muckety-muck and got down to brass tacks so that we could have true participation of African-American contractors who actually live and work in the community within that particular project. I have challenged each and every corporation that has come to the 21st Ward to also be as open in the process and including African-American businessmen and local business people within those projects, and I think that it is important for all of us. So I want to say thank you all to Omar for this award. I will continue to fight for you all and do what you do because you all are our community, building it brick by brick. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our next awardee is getting the Lou Palmer Talking Drum Award, and that will go to Robert T. Starks, professor at Northeastern Illinois University.
Give it up for Dr. Starks. Read them in Indigo every week.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
First of all, let me say thanks to Omar and ACA. There is no stronger group advocating for black contractors in the country. Let's give it up for Omar. Keep doing what you're doing. I am indeed proud to accept this award named for one of my personal heroes, Lou Palmer. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Okay, our next awardee happens to be one of the founding members of the African American Contractors. I was telling Elaine the other day that, do you remember when we went on our yearly retreat in Christmas Mountain in Wisconsin, and that her son, now that's a minister, was a baby with Brenda, and they ate so much at the retreat, he ended up throwing up in back of the seat, but she said, I got to be at this retreat, Omar, and I'm going to be there. And thank you for everything that you have sacrificed, Elaine, for your job. Well done. Here's your award as a founding member of the African American Contractor Association. Elaine Scott, give it up for her.
I would like to thank Omar. Thank you, Omar, and the organization for this fine award. Thank you so much. It has been a struggle. We have struggled on, but we persevered and we have made it. Thank you so much. And we will be contacting Bank of America. Okay, thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our next award is for Outstanding Business Development and Corporation Outreach. We would like to give this award to Emmett T. Vaughn, Director, Diversity, Business, Environment, Exelon Corporation.
And I'm talking about Emmett have been doing some serious work over there, keeping our lights on. Thank God for Emmett and Mr. Clark.
I'd like to just offer humble thanks for this beautiful award. It seems almost strange to get an award for what you do that's your passion, and I feel honored. I feel like I've been awarded something from a battle brother in Omar. We talked about this some time ago, and we have truly been battling for what Congressman Davis said earlier, and the aldermen have said. It seemed like a never-ending battle to try to get some of the outstanding African-American companies and contractors work in business. I'm proud to work for a company, Exelon, which is the parent company of ComEd. We've had tremendous success. You all know black folks run a lot of stuff over at Exelon. And so I'm very fortunate to work for a place where there's a Frank Clark and a John Hooker and many people that a lot of the community knows very well, because these are people that are a product of our community. So on behalf of a great corporation, on behalf of a great organization, which I've supported throughout my career, through Omar, through Andre Jones, who's a great friend of mine, and too many people to mention, thank you so very much.
Okay, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna try again. We're gonna try again to avoid, and I'm gonna say this right now: if you have any official office as an alderman, a deputy governor, a governor, anything that you with City Hall or the state or the county, you're not gonna win this gift certificate this time. I wouldn't care if they call your name 100 times. You're not going to win. Celeste, would you come up and pick someone this time? See, our members is getting restless. They not winning. You can't look. All right. Go ahead. No, you got to pick side here. Oh, no, you know what? She wins too many times anyway. Tashana, you might as well come on up here and win. Well, you know, Tashana Jones. You know, you keep winning. You winning too many years. Okay, so our next award. Okay, our next award for Outstanding MBE, WBE Community Liaison will go to Michelle of McGee.
Good evening. Giving thanks and praise to God, who is the omnipotent. I'd like to thank ACA for this distinguished award. My father, Reverend A.I. Dunlap, who a lot of you know, has been instrumental in myself as well as all of my siblings being active in the community. And on behalf of McHugh Construction and Bruce Lake, who allows me to do a lot of good things for African American contractors, I'd like to thank you for this prestigious award. Thank you.
But you know, ladies and gentlemen, we really can't really proceed any further without us mentioning a good friend of ours for many years, both Omar and myself, Mr. Larry Huggins. Would you all give him a round of applause? Yeah. Okay, our next one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, McHugh. Okay, now let's settle down over there. You all is the loudest group in the house. Okay, our next award will go to Outstanding Public Service Award. Is to be granted to the Honorable Rudolph Clay, the Mayor of Gary, Indiana. First, let's take a picture. Okay. Yeah.
That's right. First of all, I want to again say thank you very much. You know, a blessing is not a blessing until you speak it. So at this moment, I want to say thank you for the blessing.
Oh, you know, he told me. He told me to come on.
Our next award here goes to a very dear friend of ours, which is an advocate. Everyone knows him and loves him dear. He was here earlier, which is Reverend Hatchett of the Coalition for Community Action. So give it up for Reverend Hatchett. But Reverend Daniels, which is a longtime advocate and friend and neighbor of Reverend Hatchett, right across the street there, he's going to accept this award. Reverend Hatchett was here earlier, but he got a little ill. So give it up again for Reverend Hatchett.
First of all, we give praises unto God. We're certainly delighted to be here with Omar Sharif and the African American Contractors Association. And Reverend John C. Hatchett was here, but in his famous words, Omar, this is not popcorn. I want to say that Reverend Hatchett and Reverend A.I. Dunlap, I want Reverend A.I. Dunlap to stand up. I want Reverend A.I. Dunlap to stand up and come up and say something. I know they didn't tell me to do this. This wasn't in the script, y'all. But this is the pioneer of civil and human rights, Reverend Dr. Shepard A.I. Dunlap.
Well, I just want to thank all of you. When we went to Marquette Park, everybody was afraid, but we got some of them and went anyway. When we closed the Dan Ryan down and marched on Sears Tower when they were building. When I came to Chicago, they had 90,000 white journeymen in all the trades. You know how many blacks they had? 250. But I just want to thank you for doing it, and just keep on and help us to stop the emasculation of young black males in America.
And I'm going to tell you that I was a young man working with Reverend Dunlap, At the time, his daughter was in school, and he was working very hard for the community. I'm saying he was going around in his truck, and some of you all don't know, he's one of the founding executive director of Black Contractors United. And he raised the most money, and Pierre took the most pictures, and we had the most fun, and I got the clear understanding of what it means to fight for African American men and women in the community, and to build bridges of opportunities and remove walls of division. And I cannot say how happy I was to see Barack Obama deliver that speech that he delivered, so elegant, in regards to race in America. And I got to say again, thank you very much, and I'm going to bring the chairman back up to leave us this evening, Andre Jones.
We want to thank everybody for coming out. Again, without our sponsors, without your participation, we could not have done this. And we are so appreciative. Thank you so much to all the corporate sponsors, to the companies, to the organizations, and to the membership, to our presidents from the various chapters across the country. We thank you for traveling and making your way here to be a part of this annual event, as you always do. Again, thank you so much, and God bless you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before everybody mingle away, we're going to try for one more ordinary person to win a gift certificate. Where are you, Celeste? You won't win. Move. Come on. She can't reach up here. All right. No, you can't look at it. You can't look. There you go. Turn around. All right, now pick. No, pick again. Rudy Clay really won, but we weren't going to give it to her. Ball game. John Greener. Is there a John Greener? Yep, here you go. There you go. I got to draw again. Okay, see, that's what the alderman should have done. Draw again. Here, get another. Hit again. Turn around. There you go. Wrong one. You're on the paper.